What's going on, guys? I'm Joe Farewell, and welcome to Knowledge Nuggets, which is the new series brought to you by W.O.F.T Scenario Training and Atlas Gunworks. In this series, I'm going to be taking you through quite a few topics, diving into everything from concealed carry, how to set up your concealed carry, shooting from retention, adding movement into this, and just some of the mindset things that go into effectively training yourself to be your own first responder. Now, in this first video, we're going to be working on shooting from retention. I'm going to explain to you why that's so important. I'm working with a appendix style concealed carry rig, and this is my preferred setup. However, all of these same concepts apply regardless of how you carry your firearm. Now, the reason why retention shooting is so important is because approximately 80 to 90% of firearms encounters where you're using a firearm to defend yourself occur within 0 to 15 feet. It's all really up close and personal. With that being said, it's really important to know exactly how to put effective rounds on target, how to keep the gun out of somebody else's hands, and make sure that you're able to use it to the best of your ability without sacrificing any performance on that side. All right, so let's dive into the actual steps of the process for shooting from retention. Now, the first thing I want to focus on is making sure that we are protected effectively. If I'm going to be in this tight of a situation where bad guys on top of me, we're probably getting hit, stabbed, wrapped up in a big bear hug, anything like that, which we don't want to have happen to us, which is why we're going for a gun in the first place. So the first thing I want to do is make sure that my head and neck is protected. I want to start getting my shoulders up here, start protecting myself, get into a fighting posture, and I want to start shifting my hips away from the bad guy. This does two things. Number one, is going to create a little bit more balance because I'm going to be able to shift my hips back. I'm going to lean into this. And number two, it's going to create space for me to access my firearm. Now, whether you're carrying appendix style up front or even at a 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock position, this is going to allow you to get that gap between bad guy and your gun that will give you the opportunity to draw and deploy that effectively. So the steps of the process that we're going to use for the situation is get our hands up to protect ourselves. You can do a palm strike, you can do all sorts of things with this. We're not going to get into the hand-to-hand combat stuff here. If you want to do that, come out to W.O.F.T and get some good scenario training. But get your hands up, protect yourself, and this also get your hands out of the way so you don't accidentally shoot yourself. The next step of the process is to get that shirt out of the way. So when I get my hands up here, I'm going to go ahead and shift my hips back, get my shirt here with my strong hand while still protecting myself or throwing a strike with my support hand, clear that shirt out of the way, and all I'm doing is I'm lifting it up and pinning it. From here, I want to get my grip as effectively as I can, get that gun up, and all I do is I rotate it up. I'm not drawing and presenting, I'm simply pulling it out of the holster and rotating it into this position. Now, this position that we're shooting from is very important to make sure that we get right. The first thing I want to do is I want to get that mag well up here into my rib cage. I get my shoulder up high, mag well up into my rib cage, and I rotate that gun out to about 45 degrees away from my body. What that does, it allows the slide to cycle effectively without getting tangled up on your clothing, and also it doesn't jam the gun into the bad guy where you could end up with a malfunction because the gun's out of battery now. So to go through that one more time, step by step, we're going to get our arms up, we're going to create distance with our hips, create good balance, get that gap in here, pull that garment to the side, drive in, get my grip, pull that gun up and rotate up to here. That elbow is going to shoot up. Now the gun is crossing my body here. It allows the slide to cycle effectively, and we're angled down into an effective shooting position. This hand's still up here. I'm not in any danger of shooting myself. And we can actually kind of take a look down, blocking ourselves here, and take our shots at this angle. From here, my body again is bladed away from the bad guy. I'm able to get effective shots on target and keep this gun protected if he's coming in and grabbing it. All right, guys, now that we have our eyes and ears on, we are going to go ahead and run this drill live. The first part is we're going to lean in, get that arm up, clear the garment, get a good grip, rotate up, and bring that gun up into our rib cage here. And as you can see, we're getting good effective shots on target. We can be very accurate even from a retention position. That gun cycles fluidly with no issues. All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap for this knowledge nugget. I hope you enjoyed it and got something that you can put in your own toolbox that hopefully you never need, but it's a good thing to have anyway. Be sure to check out W.O.F.T if you want the most epic firearms training and scenario training in the country. And if you want the best guns, check out Atlas Gunworks. Until next time, I'm Joe Farewell, and see you on the range.